whole Discord, the Cock Punch Discord for that NFT is easily the best Discord I've seen operate completely and utterly. I think the fact that it was built not by Tim, but just by people who are kind of following him and to do things, makes it a lot better. So it's making me very bullish on the purely for the fact that it just seems like nobody's really caring about the cost. Is more like, yeah, this is fun, and it's making it quite cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's what Hosky's like. Anyone who comes in talking about price or number go up just gets laughed out. So do they do that in that Discord?
What?
Well, if someone comes in talking about price and things like that, what happens?
I think, honestly, I've only ever seen, maybe myself personally, twice, of someone saying something about the price, and people who own like quite a lot of them kind of saying like, just pointing back to, hey, Tim actually said, do it for fun. And then they're like, okay. But, there's no like, nothing beyond that, I guess.
Okay, yeah. All right, sounds similar. All right,
We're looking for booster games this week.
What's that?
How are we looking for booster games this week?
2, I think.
That's
It's better
100% increase.
Yeah, better than 1.
I wonder what's happened to Peter.
I'm wondering if I had to guess, I would say it's because I had Hosky on, maybe.
maybe.
Or maybe he just got sick of us talking. I don't know. Who knows, man? I'm guessing. Could be lots of things. I know he's still around though. I see him boosting tons of other shows and stuff. So maybe we just fell off the bandwagon. I reached out to him via Discord. Didn't hear back from him. So who knows?
Maybe it was a Hosky chat.
Could have been. Who knows? Could have been something you said. Could have been something I said. Could have been something neither of us said, and it's just the way it is. I'll go up and quickly check if that's, where was it? Yeah, still isn't. That was 2 weeks ago. Who knows? Oh, someone else posted something. Trevor, nice. Cool. All right.
Also, I've been doing a lot of rowing, weirdly enough.
Oh shit! You're going for those rowing points still?
No. I don't think I'll be getting the timing, but I'm definitely going
1K, 3 minutes 13.
Definitely going for some distances. Or more distance definitely than what we used to be doing for sure. If I'm ever going to get time better at rowing, it's probably this month coming.
Yeah. April 2023. Okay, it's that one there. It looks like your goal's there, so I'll cut both of them. I'll copy that one. Oh geez. We'll get started soon, people. If you've joined in, just had a busy day, so slightly behind. Move both of those into here. Minimize that. I'll share my screen so they can see what I'm doing at the moment. Hey, you wanna go into the YouTube and just see if our mouths are making noises correctly? Go over here. Yeah, something like that. Hey, you wanna go into the YouTube? Yeah, cool. Minimize that one.
Test.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if anything else interesting has happened this week. No, not so much, man. Not so much.
Test.
Crop that one. That'll be number 5. Yes. Okay, on that one. Minimize that. Well, what is that linked to? Equal goals. Make that bigger. Check that in the middle. Go like this.
Hello, Evie.
Go like this.
Hello, Evie. Apparently, my dog is listening to the podcast right now.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Does she react to your voice?
She does indeed. She also reacts quite negatively to the posties who come to the door. I had a delivery.
Okay.
I bought a couple of things which got delivered. So I bought one particular. I don't know if you've had this experience. I've started to become a little bit of a online buying connoisseur.
Oh yeah.
And by that I mean I never used to buy things online, and I'm starting to do this a little bit more so. And that's okay. And I bought probably a total of 7 things or 8 things all in one go from one shop, and it got split up into 4 different deliveries. Don't know why. It seems a bit strange to me. But in any case, I put on as a comment on this particular delivery that dog on the premise, she's loud, but she's friendly.
Okay.
To kind of give them a bit of a heads up. And every time that they've come and delivered this package, our dog has literally launched herself at the door, barking the house out like quite ferociously. If you didn't know, you think your dog's going to kill you.
Yeah, you were saying this when I was there. Why would you say the dog is friendly? It's not.
Definitely friendly once you're in the house. Once dog crosses the barrier, I believe, of the front door, or at least someone comes into the house.
Okay.
But before that, yeah, she does put a ferocious face on.
That's weird.
So maybe it's not friendly. Maybe there's
no, I don't think
there's
so.
ferocity until enters.
You and Jazz were saying that she wasn't even friendly when you're in the house, and that she was attacking people.
When?
Well, when we came to your 30th. Yes, your 30th. So we're all downstairs. And
wouldn't be so my 30th with a rooftop. Talking Joey's.
Joey's.
Yeah.
Correct. Sorry. Yes, you're correct.
Yes, but that was a particular Joseph and Ada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe that might be the point. If you show fear, if you show weakness in front of her, she understands it. She understands the weakness. But so these posties must be showing some weaknesses because, one particular one tiptoed up the door, obviously knowing there's a dog, it's going to make a lot of noise. So he tiptoed up the door, up the steps as slowly and as quietly as possible. But our dog caught either the smell or the sight of this postie slowly coming and launched herself at the door. And I'm glad the door was locked. So sometimes it isn't. And the postie basically like launched the packet into the air, landed on the front door, and just like ran away. Damn. So yeah, if you ever come to my house, don't show weakness.
Your dog's getting kicked.
I'm training correctly.
That's what's happening. Your dog is going to get kicked, Juan. I'm sorry to tell you, but you shouldn't behave like that.
I think this is coming from weakness, folks. Coming from a boy scared of dogs.
It's all right. I'm not scared.
Tell me in the comments, folks. Is it okay to kick dogs?
I'm not scared to kick a dog.
Kyrin says kicking dogs is okay.
Yeah, fuck it.
I say there's a time and place.
100%.
Only if it's
I'll kick any
at
dog.
extremities.
I'll kick any dog. If you're coming at me like that, I'll kick you. Can't be behaving like that. It's not acceptable. All right. Make that 7. The other one, I'll leave that for the moment. Okay, all right. I think I'm kind of prepared now. Spend monthly goals, go to here, go to chapters, bring this up. People are still watching, so I will change this back. Hello, she is very cute. I'm sure she is, Patricia. Very cute to get kicked right in the head.
We'll see. I'll drop it in there. Kyrin believes dogs is acceptable if they're being believes kicking dogs is acceptable if they're being ferocious.
Yes.
Had to add being ferocious, not just say kicking dogs.
Yeah.
Is Kyrin saying specifically if they're being ferocious?
Okay. Cool. All right. I think we're ready to roll, man.
Let's do it.
I think we're ready to do this. So let's just make sure. Go over here, just to recheck subscriptions, come to mere mortals. Okay. Why isn't that playing? Can you hear us? Check. Yep. All right. You can run this one because I'll run the next. Here we go.
Welcome back, Mere Mortal. It's 29th of March 2023, and you've got the two Mere Mortals here. You got one on this corner,
Kyrin on the other side.
You got monthly goal setting. We reflect back on the months that was, the months to come, how we've been successful at it, any thoughts, ideas into the future, and all the case. You can go back through the many months that have been in the past now to actually go and check out what sort of things we've been aiming for. Again, this rolls up into our eminent sort of human beings. For myself, Kyrin's got his 8 sort of long-term main goals. Categories, long-term goals.
2023 goals.
2023 goals. And we go down all the way into the monthly goals. So, again, we like to reflect back on the month that was, or the month that we're currently in, 29th of March, being the March 2023 goals. So, we'll review this. I'll go first. We'll get Kyrin to go afterwards. And then we'll look at the April goals as well. I'm not sure if you also want to look into the website, if you've updated the statistics.
I haven't, no.
Okay. Awesome. So let's review for myself, March 2023 goals. And if you've got a good podcasting app, you can see this on the video as we speak. Yep. Or if you're on the YouTube live, you can also see this as well. So for March 2023, all of those 6 goals that I was going after were able to be successfully ticked off. This was around keeping my calories in around 10% variance, just starting my LinkedIn and sharing some more thoughts and ideas 2 times a week. The biggest one, which was building in the office with the content creation capabilities. That took some hard yakka, but that was nice to actually get finished up, which was really good. And I was able to, yesterday, create a piece of content while in there. Still some cleanup to do, but yeah, really good that it's starting to really set up.
Yeah, I'm keen to see what that looks like. Yeah. So that's a book review.
That's a book review, yes. So that'll be the Dad's Guides to Pregnancy, filmed on a GoPro, but using a proper microphone. So the audio will be good. Video, a bit shaky, but you'll see from the background there's some cleanup to be done. However, I'm looking forward to the setup that I've got with it and the screens and the like. So that's really cool. And yeah, just completing a lot of things for checklists and things to be a dad, because April, as we'll see, is when we're expecting the baba to arrive. So that was the easy March 2023 goals, which was, as I note down, because I actually summarized a lot of these. It's full focus on the new office setup and baby girl prep. So that was a successful March for myself.
Beautiful. I think I've had a pretty good March, to be honest, mate. So I have just today finished my 12 dedicated hours, 100 approaches. I didn't really care, to be honest, that much. I think I got around about that.
Okay, that's a lot, man. It's a lot.
I was keeping a roughish tally. So for those who are wondering what came out of that, I'd say probably 15 numbers, 7 or 8 dates, something like that in total. It's about that. I mean, I'm kind of calculating out because I did a whole bunch today as well. So yeah, it's kind of funny reflecting back and going, looking back and going, I used to do 3 hours a day, like almost every day or every second day. So old Kyrin would have done 45 hours this month instead of 12. But I think I'm probably getting about the same amount of success.
That's good. So more effectiveness.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So yeah, you'll see how that has influenced my thoughts on the next one.
I was going to ask you, but maybe let's save it for the April part.
Yes.
Is that effective? Yes. This may be a question. I've heard of someone. Is it effective to be going on dates, but nothing beyond that?
We'll get into that. Improved boosting website. I haven't done that. I've other priorities. Set up improved security systems, so that's for financially wise.
Yes,
I have done that, which has been good.
So what Kyrin did was, no, I'm kidding, I'm not sharing it. Yeah, keep it secure, folks.
Didn't even tell.
Okay, here's a point of view. I think that particular goal, because I had it in my annual goals to do a bit more of like security of my finances, NFTs, crypto, and the like, and I did for a large part. Do I have something in hot wallets? Absolutely. However, apart from us saying that sort of stuff, hot wallets, that sort of terminology, we are very, you'll have to like really scour the stuff that we talk about publicly to see the things that we hold or the things that we're kind of finding. And you could probably find our addresses and stuff like that, but it would be very, very challenging to find any more detail to allow like scammers or social hacking and any of that sort of thing. So I think it's a good point with this one. I mean, you've gone fully off, like, you air gapped yourself with a lot of your crypto, if you like. but this applies to a lot of other things. As much as possible, I think this goal is really crucial for people. Do this to the best of your abilities, and don't be telling people. Tell some people some information so like they get the knowledge, but don't be divulging these things as a open wide, right? That kind of defeats purpose if you're telling people, hey, I'm hiding my keys here. It's kind of like, well, thanks for letting me know. Now that's just another vector point to be attacked.
You got to find that right balance between having it so that in the unfortunate circumstance you're incapacitated or you die or something like that, that it's not completely lost, whilst also going, okay, how many people can I trust, and in what level of complexity can I reasonably get them to adhere to? And this is why you'll hear all sorts of things about multi-sig wallets and whatnot. That's for the kind of pros. If you got to really think about that if you're doing that, or just general financial estate planning, all those sorts of things. So I know plenty of people have been messed up. Yeah, I'll tell you one off camera as well. 30 hours of deep stretching. I think I got about 15 of that. So haven't gone too crazy. I think ticked off enough to be at all. I'd say I'm 95% of the way for basically the three things for that goal. Pancake, middle splits and front splits. All of them are really, really close. They're really close. So I'm not too disappointed that I've had to do that. Pick someone and eat some brownies. I did do that. I won't say who, just in case they don't want to be known, but I had a fun experience having some special brownies.
I know who it is.
Yeah, he does. Finished the Spanish book. I didn't. I tried out 2 Peruvian books, read 10% and just went, I can't do this. So I thank my friend Rodrigo. He's the one who gave me this shirt at the moment, but I could not. Books. I just couldn't do it, man. I just went, this is so hard. I'm not enjoying this.
Now, when you say this, you're not referring to the language itself as hard. It was just more the topic.
No, a bit of both, man. Okay. Peruvian, I've noticed this with Peruvian books. Mario Vargas Llosa, most famous example. It's a lot of slang, a lot of slang, and it's
challenge.
It's not slang that I know. It's not slang that's kind of even findable, because there's a podcast out there like Aussie English called, I don't know,
Peruvian.
Español Peruano or something like that, but I don't care enough to get into that
minute.
It's so old, man. Some of this slang is from the 1920s. It's like saying regio. Your mum told me about regio, which is kind of the old-fashioned way of saying genial or great or amazing. But
it's like it's not worth knowing now.
No, unless you're reading Condorito or something. 12 hours of German. I've done 10, and I expect to be able to do 1 hour tomorrow and 1 hour Friday, which should tick me off for the month. Okay. So
I was about to just hammer you then, be like, dude, I don't think you finished anything.
Oh, man, I'm smashing them out. Be more direct with my communication. Absolutely, I have been doing that, and I think it's been working well. Download and rename JSON files. No, I haven't done that. So I'd say I'm probably 70%, to be honest.
Okay, I think. Fair. There's a lot there, especially, like I was just calculating in my mind, right? If you do 100 approaches, that's a lot of hours, right? That's a lot of hours.
So that's just there. That's 54 hours of things. Granted, I didn't do 15 of that, so that's 40 hours of things. That's an hour and a bit a day, plus just all the normal routines and going on dates doesn't get included in this. As we said, we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah, very good. Okay,
so we'll jump now onto the, I guess, boost roundup. Like we've been saying, it's been hasn't been a great month. We've been losing people. Peter not coming in. We were seeing some new faces for a bit in February and January. They kind of dried up. I don't even have the old stuff here. I can bring up the old one.
I was just thinking
it's not even worth bringing up to myself.
No, I was just thinking, I guess maybe we could just meander on at the moment with Bitcoin is going up now significantly in terms of price. More so sort of worldwide, it has seemed like inflation's been biting a lot of people. People are pulling back from the maybe extra spending that they were doing. There might be some duality of there's people who want to be spending less, but also with the price of Bitcoin going up, there's less incentive for people to be sending things as well. So there's maybe some of that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I did see something on Twitter today or yesterday that in some scenarios, Fountain was being listened to more than Spotify for particular things. So I was like, it has been the gradual use.
Bitcoin
podcast. Yeah, for Bitcoin podcast. It was like specifically for some things. I went, it's cool to see that in some scenarios it's starting to get even more and more traction. Again, I think I just put it down to it's just so early. Just still so early for any of that.
And check out the conversation come out with Sam Sethi, who I don't know if you know this about him. You barely even know who he is, do you? So he does the podcast with James, Pod News Weekly. Right. And some of his kind of highlights is he worked in Netscape with Mark Andreessen. He used to work for MicroStrategy with Michael Saylor. I think he was one of the first 50 people at Microsoft for a certain type or something. So he's just been in early tech startups forever. Yeah. He says it's early, so I
believe it. Believe it.
Trust his judgment.
Yep.
Another thing was the shirt. Did you manage to switch a shirt with?
No, I've got the funding that's come through. However, he's going to be able to pick it up at the end of the week. Although it's there in my locker for him ready to pick up.
Cool. Well, we'll talk about the accepting reality part shortly then.
In the accepting reality, for sure.
Cool. And also accepting reality in the Boostergram. So that's the episode that is it's already out technically if you're re-listening to this.
True.
Coming out in 30 minutes if you're listening right now.
Yeah. See, if you're in the live, folks, you get the good stuff straight up. If not, you got to pay attention to the timeline. You got to listen to the beginning of the podcast when we tell you the date.
Yeah.
Put them in order.
This is like, so when I had the brownies, I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you seen it?
No.
Dude, it's a mindfuck of a movie because it's all about jumping between multiverses, and that is what our podcast is like. That movie, it just jumps between all of these different things.
There's a word Tim Ferriss says for that, but speaking of that, and again we're deviating away, but if you want to listen to a podcast that's similar to that, movie, the latest Tim Ferriss podcast with David Dutch and Naval Ravikant, be prepared to listen to that at fucking 0.8 times speed and like take some notes, man, because he just goes pretty wild pretty quickly. I was struggling to keep up with most of the conversation.
Naval seems to really like David Deutsch.
He seems like a really interesting guy. Seems to be like the daddy of quantum computing from the 1977 or something like that.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
All right, very good.
Let's get into your goals, man.
Let's go to April. So as I mentioned, I'll give you the overline, the headline for the month of April 2023. I want to trial out the office. There's the home office, final plans for the baby, and CrossFit training. So what does that mean? I've got 7 goals this particular month. 3 on the fitness front. 1, I want to accumulate 30 minutes of stretching through this week consistently after workouts. What does that mean? I just want to assure that at least 5 minutes. Yeah. So, I'm not talking 15 hours here, folks. I'm talking 30 minutes per week in total. This is really quite simple, but it's just make sure that I'm doing it. Some days I'm doing more, some days I'm doing less. I used to have a mandatory amount of movements that I would do. Usually it'd be like rolling on my stomach through my abs and abdominals with a ball, some Indian side stretching, all those sort of movements to keep me quite loose. There's a reason why I've added this one, and I'll go to my third point, which is I want to try a full month of CrossFit only workouts. Now, why have I decided to do this as well? So I went, hey, I've really been enjoying my training. This is awesome. But I can see in the horizon, I can see that light, and that light is a vagina opening up with a baby coming out of it. And I can go, okay, I want to get as fit as possible before the baby comes on out. And I went, hey, what's the best way to do it? Hey, I really enjoy doing a lot of CrossFit style workouts.
CrossFit is... they're the fittest people on earth then?
Debatable. But in general, if you go modality across the board, yes, absolutely. And for me, it's got the cross sections of the things I really enjoy doing. Lifting heavy, weightlifting, being in the gym.
Shitty handstand.
Less running than usual. Shitty handstand.
Not great handstand.
Exactly. Not a great handstand, but handstand walking. Really good for that.
Yeah.
And so...
well, your handstand walking...
So I've been... to give you very specifically, it's a mixture of HWPO from Matt Fraser, so hard work pays off. I've basically signed up for a month, but I'm only probably going to use a 14-day free trial. However, if there's anyone from the Matt Fraser HWPO training program speaking about cybersecurity and vector programming, I figured out how to get all of your videos for free as well. So if you'd like to reach out, I can show you how you're exposing your data out into the public before you even pay for it. So that's why you got to be secure, folks. So
whose videos are you getting? Other people submitting those?
No, it's the actual program. So the program itself has a video and all of the lists of what to do basically for the workouts. You're able to access them before you actually pay for anything.
Oh, okay.
So it's an interesting thing. So there's that plus I've mentioned it before in the podcast. I've said it in a couple of other places. Pushjerk.com. Hey, this is not advertising. I'm telling you, go use this if you want free templates of working out in this particular manner.
Hilarious. So I went to the website. God, does it look shit?
Oh, God, does it look shit. You know, it's been running since since 2013 or 2014. But the dude's got just a couple of ads through it. You know, that's basically how he's probably making his money. Dude or girl or group, whoever. Okay, power on. Go give him some money. So anyways, it's a combination of I'll be doing basically hard work pays off, that type of workout. Plus, I'll call it out Matt Fraser's app. Fucking awesome. I try to host different ones. That one's the easiest, cleanest to actually use. In fact, for me, I would almost be tempted to pay for that continuously once the time permits further down the track. Perhaps. But then I'll combine it with Pushjerk and just do that until the end of the month or until baby comes. And stretching will come a part of that because usually my workouts are 50 minutes, 55 minutes. To do these types of workouts that I'm trying to do with, it's like 2 or 3 strength movements plus 2 or 3 metcons plus zone 2 training plus stretching plus whatever. Yeah, it's 90 minutes minimum workouts. And so there's been some days, last couple of days, I've been starting to trial it. I've done double sessions and it's getting to 2.5 hours, 3 hours. And I'm like, woo, this is fun. This is fun. Yeah, so my body's sore. And then going back to the second one for the body is take an inventory of the actions I would like to continue taking as a dad into the future for health longevity. So this one's an interesting one. Again, I talked about getting back into more supplements. I'm having my green powders and red powders. There's a lot of things around zone 2. I've got a sauna on home. Just haven't built it up. I was thinking about getting myself an ice bath as well. There's a lot of, do I want to do contrasting work? Essentially, what's worth expending the time, money into when I'm going to be very time poor? Do I build up a home gym? Do I go and buy out all that stuff from my mates, even from down the road, and be like, give me all your shit. I'll buy it and just rack it across. Maybe I'll do that. I do have an outdoor space where I can do that. So perhaps I'll think about it. You never know. Don't say no to those things. And so there's that. From a mind perspective, just one, but it is a big one. Completing 3 book reviews this month. So easy. I've got them already ready to go. In essence, I've got 2 already on back order. One of them I've already edited and will come out as part of this one. So I'll count that. But I've got 2 more that'll come out. So it'll just be the effort of putting it together and getting it out with better quality for the next year, I promise, folks. And then the last 3. So 1, I want to have another time for another lovely and conversational family catch-up. So I believe we're planning to do it this weekend. So I've got to put it in coming up this weekend. If not, it's going to be the next weekend. I've also got my mum's birthday coming up this month. So there'll be a bit of that. But I like this conversational, different areas, catch up, have some almost an agenda to it. I know sometimes people say like, this is a little bit formal. God damn it, I need it, folks. I've got a lot of stuff going on. 2, finish making my little girl's room. So this is, very heavily underway. We've been spending, I'm going to say at least an hour every day now for like the last 2 weeks on doing things. But this is going to probably get even more so now that my partner's kind of come off working at the end of this week.
Babies nowadays are so weak.
Take a lot of time, man.
Just chuck them in a room. Why do you even need a cot?
That is true. Just
thought she's going to be hard.
Put him.
How's she going to be hard as now as if you're doing all this pampering?
Just what happens at 2 years old, man. That's the new annual goal is going to come out. She's going to be running 2K. She's going to be doing handsets way longer. And the last one, it's just really packing the hospital bags, finalizing all the stuff at home for health and precautions, and really the plan for work and pets. So this is just more administration, but there's a lot of handover. It's an interesting thing for work perspective. It's hey, I've put together a plan of how I'm going to take off. But again, reality doesn't usually follow along. So I've worked it out with work. I've been really nice about this. I'm going to take, at this stage, 2 weeks off, full time, nothing, go away. 1 week where I'll essentially start coming back to work, but I'll work from home half time. So maybe, an 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. shift or 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., something to that effect. And then 1 more week where I'll be working fully from home but maybe full time, and then beyond that, see if there's a need to continue working from home or do I start shifting it back into the office. So there's some time there to kind of readjust to the realities of life.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of preparation that'll have to go underway for that, and of course, just all the along getting the room ready, getting the house ready for the baby and everything else. So anyways, that's April 2023. So
you can tell how good a friend I am because I've never actually asked you, do you need any help from me? Do you need me to do anything? Do you want anything?
As my family know very well, I think I've only asked them once this whole time for help, which was last weekend. So no, it's been good. It's been good. I think predominantly, especially coming out of the baby shower that we threw, we got so many presents and shit like that for the baby. So for us, we're just like, especially, I think we're going to turn it into overdrive now that partners are sort of coming off from working. So it'll be just ample time to get things set up. So I don't know. I feel like we're at the stage now that we're over preparing.
Okay. Yeah.
Better to be in that mindset than the under preparing.
Yeah.
So, but no, those are the April goals, folks, for 2023.
Nice, exciting, very exciting times. Coolies. Well, my April goals we'll get into. So I'm upping it. So 20 hours of approaching and being super direct. So it doesn't mean I have to approach directly, as in stop them on the street. I still prefer the conversational style, indirect ones. But I am noticing asking more direct questions, asking, hey, are you single? That sort of stuff. It is helping.
Okay.
So doing that. I just want to improve our website. Last time I had some things. I think there's a lot of stuff that can be changed with her. So, blanket one. We were talking about white papers, the Bitcoin white paper in the last meanderings. Do not go to bitcoin.com. That is Roger Ver's site.
Oh, there you go. So bitcoin.org.
Yeah, bitcoin.org.
Good call out.
If you want the white paper. So I just want to read the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano ones.
Cool.
Because I think I have read all three of them. I don't know if Ethereum's got like 7. It's like the yellow paper, the blue paper.
Yeah, I don't even know what it's called, but I always think of just Ethereum's website and the abundant amount of stuff that's just in there.
There's a lot of stuff there. So anyway, I just want to read the main 3 and see how things have changed. What do I get out of it? Like you said, there's kind of something to learn. I've reduced it down to 15 hours of stretching. I think something that's kind of manageable. Last couple of ones I didn't achieve. I set them intentionally too high. This one it's okay. There's something I think I can do. We agreed on this one just before I was struggling to think of something to make this year more memorable.
Did you put it down? I said.
No. I've written go out on my own one evening. That's what I'm going to do.
Cool.
I'm not going to do what Juan says. That should happen anyway.
Yeah.
Inside joke. I'm not going to say it. 15 hours of German. So that's kind of once every 2 days. Want to meet my friend Rodrigo. Have a Spanish conversation. Once again, the one who gave me this shirt. Also provide some books. Do an intercultural exchange between the Australian and Peruvian cultures. I've got a gift for him. I've got many gifts for him, actually.
Oh, very nice.
Some gifts.
Okay.
So. And I want to try and finish half a Spanish book. So not a full one.
Okay.
And we'll just see how we go. I finished the equivalent of a fifth of a one last month. Improve eye contact and assertiveness. What is that? Just fixing my general character.
Sure.
I've been having pretty good success with like I was saying with the Benjamin Franklin stuff, making it more serious in the morning, looking at myself in the mirror, being like, you are going to do this today, and then that's been working. And so just definitely my eye contact. Noticing that even today, was chatting with this girl, went well, but it was still like
could have been better.
Could do better. And assertiveness. Once again, check out the Accepting Reality podcast. So there's more on that.
More on that.
And then I've just kept that one. Download, rename all the JSON files. I want to just try and find that time. Just so much stuff. So much stuff. What were we going to add in this section? You were asking a question about effectiveness of what I'm doing with the approach.
The very top one. So I wanted to ask you, so you're upping the hours, and I can imagine some more lights out there. So we kind of all know the end goal here. It's a relationship or a partner of some kind, right?
Yes.
And you got to go through the numbers. But there is something to be said around it is here, and maybe I think you have talked about it before. Is there a difference between quantity versus the quality? And by that is quality of maybe the people that you're interacting with, the quality of the interactions that you're having, the quality of what you're letting progress. So, some people heard some of the numbers you were saying. If you roughly approach 100 people, you got about 15 numbers and you got 7 to 8 sort of like first dates. Could there be a likelihood that, because of the volume, because of maybe the amount of time you can put out for those individuals, those 7 to 8 are only going to stay in that 7 to 8 for the first couple of dates and not anything beyond. However, if you maybe approached 10 really quality people that you were really comfortable with or happy with to continue with, and only 3 numbers, and 2 of them you got, through those dating structures that you want, but then you were able to progress one much further beyond, what is the ultimate outcome of that from that particular goal setting? So for people, because I can imagine people out there, is it, if someone else is listening to this, let's say like a 16-year-old kid, guy, girl, whatever, they go, hey, if I approach or interact with 100 people and you do that every month, and then over 12 months, you've really you've probably got like 100 phone numbers and you've gone on 40 dates. However, you're 0 further than like in a full relationship. Do you have a problem?
I look at it this way.
How do you think about that?
So I have experimented with many different things over the years. I've experimented with going out in the night. I've experimented with the apps. I've experimented with direct approaches, the social, doing it through friends and through clubs and things like that. I've tried all of them. It always comes back to this, and I look at the kind of 3 serious partners I've had. How did I get about them? One, it was during a period when I was approaching a lot, but what would happen is usually around the 3rd month, 4th month, something like that, I find a girl. Who I click with, and it seems like there's a warm-up period necessary. How long have I been doing this? This is like the 2nd month kind of seriously that I've been doing. And even then, it's not that serious compared to how much I used to do.
Gotcha.
So,
okay, that's a good guide. That's a good guide.
12 months. Yes, if I was still coming out with goals like this in 12 months' time, 100%, I've done something wrong and something's not working. I've just started. I've just scratched the surface of.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good. That's a good call out.
So that one for sure, and yeah, it is keeping in mind that the confidence. Sometimes you need confidence just to be able to get the next one. It's almost like the leveling up. You have to put in the grind to level up to then meet the girl. So you can kind of think, oh, what if you just did one quality approach? Spent all your time on this one girl, figuring out the perfect lines, things like this.
No, that also doesn't work either.
No. So I thought about this really deeply after we were talking the other day. I really kind of meditated on it. Is it that the thing is, have things changed that much since I was last doing this 4 years ago when I last got into a serious relationship? Sure, I'm older. I think the disadvantages of maybe age, as in just looking older, are just so much more counterbalanced by skills, communication skills, just general life skills, even just like physical attractiveness. I think is probably about level because I've put on more muscle compared to when I was then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel I'm getting rejected for being old, or which is kind of the only, or for being not successful enough. I don't think that's what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, as mere mortal lights out there, we'll make sure we hold Kyrin accountable. If we find that you're still putting out these goals, let's just say August, September, and you're still like talking about, hey, I'm going to approach now 23 hours, 24 hours. We have to be, as a cohort, be like, Kyrin, what's going on? They've been looking at it for like 6 months. Yeah. Is there a change of plan here? Is there a shift that we need to do here?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is it does just take time just to,
Correct. That's true. That's true. Hey, you can be, and here's a key call out. You can be, rich. You can be smart. You can be knowledgeable. You can be top of the world in a lot of things, aka someone like a Tim Ferriss, and still find a struggle to find the right person. So it's definitely not anything to hit or that. I think in that journey, there's going to be a lot of people who are probably listening to this or that particular piece, not maybe now, maybe in the future, they might be in a similar pattern and go, shit, is that what I have to do? How long? What does that look like?
This is solely advice for myself. You know, I am definitely, with this one regard, I think I'm definitely not the normal. You know, the way most people, I think, find relationships and whatnot, this is not the way that they do it. I don't think that. I've met maybe 5 or 10 people who ever do kind of cold approaching like the way I do, and yeah, most other people do it other ways, and that's fine. So this is just for me. I look back. You know, you can say, Kyrin, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? I've tried most of those things. It's not through lack of trying.
Not wanting to, exactly.
Is the problem.
Good. Is there any of the fitness goals that you want to share as well?
So I just want to share. So today I'm almost halfway through mine. So starting in October, so almost 6 months through. You can see it's pretty bare. Sad puppy for that. Yeah, I've actually changed some things around. So these used to be double what they are now. And basically what I'm already kind of seeing is just with some issues I was having with my arm, also probably overestimating how much I could do this year. I thought I had a reasonable chance of getting a lot of one arm stuff. When I've learned more about, you know, I've finally finished listening to all of the handstand casts, and they're still producing episodes, but I've caught up. The general consensus is, you know, 3 years, and it's 3 years as kind of an average. So I could be an outlier, and it could take 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I've been focusing on one arms for probably a year and a half, I think, solidly.
Okay, so I got a good 2 more years, basically.
Yes, yeah. So what I'm kind of expecting is next year, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to create anything like this, which is this whole big thing, which all adds up to 100, whatnot. I've got a whole stack of just etc. goals from that whole time, and I'll be kind of just attacking all of them, I think, whilst still focusing mainly on the one arm. And what I've just done is I've just put all of these pull-ups, straight bar dips, push-ups to a kind of intermediate level. So what I'm sort of thinking is like, I'll do that where it's a 1 second up and 1 second down, and kind of use a counter. Whereas before I was just going and trying to get as many as possible. And sure, I got to, I think, 32 pull-ups unbroken, which is, I was pretty happy with. But yeah, I'm focusing definitely more on just this elbow, just keeping it right, safe now, because I think I've gotten it to a level where I'm feeling pretty strong again, which is nice. It's
a nice place to be.
Doesn't feel like it's limiting me as much as it was 4 months ago. So yeah,
good. Okay.
Yeah, so that's all that stuff.
Beautiful. I just want to check if there's any comments or anything that we want to address at all.
Nope. No comments.
Beautiful. Well, we'll leave it there for the live version as well. So again, call it out. If you want to listen to specifically the monthly goals live, we do these alongside before we do musings. Generally, so musings on at 7 p.m. We do these roughly at about 6:15 p.m. Australian Standard Time at the end of every month. Roughly, you'll be able to see it if you're
just to the start. Depending.
Exactly. So if you want to check it out when we're doing it live, wonderful. If not, we do produce these afterwards. So if you listen to this afterwards, well, there you go. That's what happens. Once again, we operate in a value for value model, which means if you want to provide value back to us based on the value that we've just given to you on the conversations that we've had, if you've reflected on the monthly goals that we've just delivered or what we're going to bring up front, and you go, hey, that kind of seems interesting, I learned something from this, share it with someone, comment about it, or send through a boostergram that's attach some sort of Bitcoin with a comment back to us on newpodcastapps.com out there. Again, we were talking about this a little bit on the live version, but you can send through things like Fountain. You can send through a comment with a little bit of Satoshis or stream through, and that helps us with the value that we're giving you, and hopefully it's the value that you're also returning back to us. So
correct.
We're going to leave with that, folks. Thanks so much for the people who joined live, and for those who didn't, make sure you tune in at some point. Be immortal Lions. Hope you're well wherever you are in the world. One out.
Kyrin out.
Good.